Hey everybody, HomeSliceHenry here, and today's video is going to be a fun one. In today's video, I'm going to be testing out my brand new level 50 Aura Sphere Togekiss in the Master League, but there's a catch. I'm not a big fan of running Charm, so I'm actually going to be running Hidden Power Rock on my Togekiss and trying to hunt down some Ho-Oh. Now, I definitely would not recommend running Hidden Power. Charm is the better fast move, but Hidden Power Rock did lead to some absolutely hilarious battles and some sad Ho-Oh. So without further ado, let's hop into the matches and check out Hidden Power Rock Ho-Oh in action in the Master League. Hopping to the first match, picking up a very favorable lead, Therian Landorus into Dialga. Dialga is staying in, possibly looking for a catch. I'm going to go for the Stone Edge bait here. I'm expecting they're going to shield, but this way I don't debuff myself. My opponent actually calls the bait. That is a crazy read from my opponent. And now I'm not necessarily in the greatest spot. I'm going to stay in with the Landorus, farm up to the back-to-back superpowers, and this way I guarantee both shields or switch advantage. My opponent is going to concede switch advantage, and now, whatever they come in, they're going to be hit with a move. They send in Zekrom. I'm debuffed, but I still make it to the Stone Edge. Even while debuffed, Stone Edge will deal some solid chip damage, and now I can bring in my own Zekrom. They won't make an Outrage, so they're forced to go for the cheaper move of Crunch. That's perfectly fine. I'm able to tank the Crunch no problem, and farm down. What do they have in the back? It's Ho-Oh, and it's time. Look at the Rock Hidden Powers go. This is double super effective damage, absolutely shredding through the Ho-Oh. Ho-Oh goes for Sacred Fire. I commit my final shield. Hidden Power tearing through Ho-Oh, and I'm firing off the Ancient Power. This will be grabbing a shield, hoping for a boost. We do not get it. Ho-Oh has nearly been farmed down by a Togekiss. They fire off the Sacred Fire. It's low enough where I can Dragon Breath down with the Zekrom and secure the win. Hopping into the next match, picking up another favorable lead, Therian Landorus into Shadow Ho-Oh. I would much rather see Ho-Oh in the back where I can align it against Togekiss, but this is still a very favorable matchup. I can fire off the Stone Edge and grab a shield. Shadow Ho-Oh, incredibly impressive. I go for the Sacred Fire catch, but great patience from my opponent, and now they send in Dialga to meet my Zekrom. I'm going straight for the Outrage. Outrage, able to land, and my opponent is going to be returning fire here with the Iron Head. Iron Head is resisted, but it does get me low, and Dialga gets the farm down. Do I send in the Landorus? I do. I thought about bringing in Togekiss, but I wanted energy on the Landorus because I know the Ho-Oh has so much energy here, and I want to be able to outpace. They Brave Bird. Thanks to me getting the extra mud shot on Landorus, farming down that Dialga, I'm able to outpace the Ho-Oh and grab the final shield. I'm going to commit the final shield here myself. They go for the Brave Bird, and now I'm trying to make it to the Stone Edge. I go for the Stone Edge, but my opponent catches onto Zekrom. Zekrom is a bit tricky because I do not have Charm on my Togekiss. I have Rock Hidden Power, but I'm able to hang on, make it to the Superpower. Superpower KOs. In comes the Togekiss, and let's see what it can do. Shadow Ho-Oh goes for the Sacred Fire. Massive damage. The Hidden Powers getting them low. They leave on 1 HP. They get mud shot down as we clutch an improbable win. We see a familiar lead in the next match, Therian Landorus into another Dialga. Last time, I went for the Stone Edge bait and my opponent called it, so this time I'm going straight for the Superpower. Superpower, able to land, Dialga with a sliver of HP, able to hang on, reach the Iron Head, and grab my shield. Iron Head is going to be shielded. Opponent is going to save the Dialga for later and send in a Mewtwo as their save switch. Mewtwo going for the Side Strike. This is going to hurt Zekrom quite a bit. Zekrom farming up. Will go for the Fusion Bolt just before they make Side Strike number 2. Looking to put pressure on their first shield. Opponent is going to commit the shield here. Mewtwo farming up to the back-to-back Side Strikes. So now, unfortunately, I just can't really shield here. Side Strike is going to connect. I send in Togekiss. And let's see that Hidden Power damage onto Mewtwo. They go for the Side Strike. Hidden Power does absolutely nothing here. Oh man. Hidden Power Rock can be nice for Ho-Oh, but in neutral matchups, it's a massive liability. In comes Exca, but wait. Thanks to the faster energy gen of Hidden Power, I'm able to grab a shield with the Aura Sphere and get the snipe with the superpower from the Landorus. Superpower barely does not KO. Exa able to hang on with 1 HP, returning fire with the Rock Slide. Now it's Landorus's turn to tank the move with minimal HP remaining. Mewtwo gets the farm. In comes Togekiss. Hidden Power gets the farm down. All they have left is the low HP Dialga, and the opponent concedes the match. Landorus winning all the leads today as we lead into another Ho-Oh. Opponent staying in this matchup, but they will always get outpaced by the Landorus. Landorus is firing off the Stone Edge. Stone Edge is going to be guaranteed to grab that first shield. Opponent did farm up to the Sacred Fire, so I will respect it with a shield. Opponent goes for the Sacred Fire. Do we see the debuff? We do not. I'm going to fire off the Stone Edge 2 turns before they make it to the Brave Bird here. This Stone Edge will grab the final shield, so they have no shields remaining for the rest of the match. I'm going to commit the final shield here. Opponent fires off the Brave Bird. They're looking to switch, and they're going to send in Zacian. Zacian is a bit uncomfortable because I don't necessarily have a great answer to it in the back. I fire off the Stone Edge, continuing to farm with the Landorus, and I go for the Superpower on the CMP tie to the Play Rough. Superpower is going to get them low, and they're going to be firing off a charge move here. They go for the Wild Charge, actually, so they are double nuke on their Zacian. And this is going to be a bit interesting, as that typically means they're going to be running close combat instead of play rough. So I'm going to bring in the Zekrom, knowing that I will be able to tank a close combat here. They go for the close combat. I will get the farm down, and now I have Zekrom in the Zero Shield. I'm farming up, going for the Outrage, and this Outrage is definitely going to hurt. I fire off the Outrage. It's going to connect. Unfortunately, now I have to send in the Togekiss, and I have no fast move pressure here. I have a Rock-type fast move. Iron Head is going to get me low. Opponent sends in the Ho-Oh. Ho-Oh getting shredded by the Hidden Powers. I'm going for the Ancient Power. Is this enough to KO? It barely is not. Opponent living with a shred of HP. Sacred Fire KOs. Zekrom farms down the Ho-Oh, but I get farmed down by the Dialga. Picking up a tough lead in the next match, Therian Landorus into Giratina. Not the best matchup, so I am going to be looking to save switch out of here. I save switch into Togekiss. Opponent is going to send in Excadrill. Not necessarily what I was hoping to bait out. I was definitely hoping to bait out a Ho-Oh, but you know what? I'll take it. My Zekrom doesn't want to see this in the back, so now I can fire off the Aura Sphere. Aura Sphere deals massive damage to Exa, so I'm actually able to grab a shield. They continue to farm up. They are over farming by quite a bit, and now they're going to deal the killing blow with the Rock Slide. Rock Slide will be lethal. I'm going to send in Landorus. I can comfortably tank 2 Rock Slides and not be able to be farmed down by the Exa, but I do want to try and preserve some HP. So I'm going to overfarm slightly and go for the Superpower so they're not able to make their second charge move here. Superpower will KO, and I'm looking to send in Zekrom. In the back, they have Zacian. Not the best matchup, but up a shield. Zekrom has play here. They did farm up easily enough for the play rough, so I will respect it with a shield, and unfortunately, they do have play rough. The good thing is, I have a lot of energy on Zekrom here, so I can fire off Fusion Bolt number 1, get them quite low, and I'm going to be able to make it to Fusion Bolt number 2. Now, this Fusion Bolt is going to be grabbing the final shield. They're very low on HP, but it's a very difficult task to try and Dragon Breath down a Fairy type. I will commit the shield. Opponent is going to close combat bait. They farm up, go for the play rough, but I get the catch. I catch onto Therian Landorus. It's the play rough, and that leaves minimal farm for the Giratina. Now I can send back in Zekrom. Zekrom will be hit with the loaded energy from the Giratina. Shadow Ball gets me low. Zekrom makes it to the Outrage. This will easily KO the Giratina. All that's left is the Zacian. It's a fast move race. Dragon Breath prevails, and that's a good game. Picking up a decent lead in the next match, Therian Landorus into Togekiss. At the very least, I can hit them for super effective damage with a Stone Edge or grab an early shield. So I'm going for the Stone Edge right away. That gets the shield, and now I'm going to save switch into the mirror. My opponent sends in Dialga, Hidden Power Rock doing absolutely nothing, but thanks to the slightly faster energy generation, I make the Aura Sphere, and that absolutely smacks Dialga. Dialga farms up energy. They're going to be firing off the Iron Head. Iron Head will be lethal. I'm going to let this go since I have no fast move pressure here, and instead get some energy on Zekrom. Zekrom is able to get the farm down in the back. My opponent has Groudon, and this is is very tough. I farm up, fire off the Outrage on the CMP tie to the Precipice Blades. Outrage is able to land, dealing massive damage to the Groudon. I will respect the Precipice Blades here, and now in comes Togekiss, these charms shredding the Zekrom. Zekrom is going to have to commit a shield here. I should make it to the Fusion Bolt, which is going to pressure the final shield. But here, I bank it for later, I switch out, and that's a mistake. Because if I just Fusion Bolted right away, then I could have gone for the Stone Edge here, and this Stone Edge would have been lethal. Whereas now, they still have the shield, they get the farm down, and this is not great for me. I have to hope that I can Dragon Breath down the Groudon before they Mud Shot down me. Zekrom is going to fire off the Fusion Bolt here. This will be lethal. It's going to be a race. Dragon Breath versus Mud Shot, and Zekrom with the 1 HP win. Tricky lead in the next match, Theory and Landorus into Mewtwo. Honestly, Mewtwo has a ton of play against this entire team, so definitely not a Pokemon that I enjoy seeing. I go for the Stone Edge, they farm up to the Ice Beam, I'm not going to respect it. It is just a Side Strike, but even so, that does so much damage to Theory and Landorus. I'm firing off the Stone Edge here. Stone Edge gets the shield. I'm going to save switch into Hidden Power Togekiss, and my opponent responds with Melmetal. Not what I was hoping to bait out, but they overfarm, so I get my Aura Sphere. Aura Sphere will absolutely smack the Melmetal, and Melmetal is going to start unleashing these Rock Slides. Rock Slide number 1 is not going to be enough to KO. They will need to throw another charge move here, and they do. They go for the Rock Slide. This will be lethal, but this does set up Zekrom to get some energy. In comes the Zekrom. Zekrom looking to farm down, and I already have over a Fusion Bolt loaded. Melmetal is going to fire off a charge move here. They go for the Superpower. They're going to switch in the Mewtwo, and Mewtwo left with energy. They fire off this Side Strike. Side Strike will get the shield. Zekrom farming up, firing off the Fusion Bolt just before they make another Side Strike. Decision time for the opponent. Is this where they use the shield? Yes, it is. Opponent chooses to overfarm, underestimating Zekrom's energy, and Fusion Bolt will be lethal. In the back, they have Giratina. Giratina is down a shield and in a very tough spot because I am running Outrage. They go for the Ominous Wind, hoping for the boost. Zekrom farming up, throwing in the middle of their Shadow Claw so they're not able to switch. Outrage will be lethal. Back in comes Melmetal. One Mud Shot gets the KO, and that's game over. We see same leads again in the next match, Theory and Landorus versus a Mewtwo. As before, I'm going to be staying in this matchup. This time the opponent not faking the Ice Beam, they're just going straight for the Side Strike. Either way, Side Strike will still hit for massive damage, and I'm going to return fire with the Stone Edge, hoping to get some chip damage onto the Mewtwo. Stone Edge is going to connect, I'm going to save switch into Togekiss, opponent throws on alignment, giving me an extra hidden power for free. Side Strike does quite a bit of damage, opponent sends in Lugia. The nice thing is, the Hidden Power Rock is hitting for super effective damage, but the downside is, Hidden Power is not the greatest ever move, and Lugia is extremely tanky, so even after landing some Hidden Powers and an Ancient Power, Lugia is still very healthy. So I will commit the shield, continuing to farm up, firing off the Ancient Power again on the CMP tie. But even so, this second Ancient Power is still not going to be enough to KO. Lugia is just way too bulky. Sky Attack is going to KO. I'm going to send in Zekrom. Zekrom looking for the farm down. Opponent has Dialga in the back, and I concede the match. Hopping into the final match, leading Theory and Landorus into a Lugia. The nice thing is, of course, I do have access to Stone Edge to hit for super effective damage, but Lugia is very bulky. Lugia will be able to tank this Stone Edge fairly well and not even be below half health. With the Mud Shots, they are finally below half health, and I go for the Stone Edge on the CMP tie to the Aeroblast. Stone Edge onto the Lugia will not be enough to KO. I know this is going to be the Aeroblast, so I decide to commit the shield. I'm down a shield, but this way I keep my Landorus fairly healthy. In comes Dialga, and they look to be pretty weak to Landorus. I'm going to farm up to what I thought was the back-to-back superpowers, but I am just short here. Superpower gets the shield. Thankfully, I am able to withstand the Dragon Breath and make it to superpower number 2. That's going to be getting Dialga deep into the red. In comes Zekrom, and it will be greeted with a Draco Meteor. That is going to grab my final shield. What do they have in the back? It's a Groudon. Let's go for a catch. I farm up, switch, and catch what should be the Precipice Blades onto Togekiss. This is not a good matchup with Hidden Power Rock, but the opponent doesn't check the fast move, and they concede the match. All in all, I had a lot of fun with the Hidden Power Rock experiment on my brand new XL Togekiss. Would I recommend running Hidden Power on Togekiss? Absolutely not. Hidden Power is a very mediocre fast move, and Charm is generally going to outperform it, just in terms of being a better overall move, and of course getting access to that same type attack bonus. So if you are running Togekiss in the Master League, definitely do stick with Charm, but man, it was fun to try something new, and bully some Ho-Oh along the way. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're enjoying the content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And a special thank you as always to our members here on YouTube. The support you guys provide is absolutely incredible. So thank you guys oh so very much. And until next time, I've been HomeSliceHenry.